Jordan. I'm at Bert's Warehouse Theater in Detroit. Pretty hopping place. There's some music, some speakers before Dr. Jill Stein goes on. I have these fine folks, a married couple, TYT fans. You are a hardcore burner. So now you're a little disenchanted, obviously endorsed Hillary Clinton, and now you kind of moved over to Jill Stein. Talk about your personal evolution.
From the Bernie Sanders movement, I really felt that we were able to make a lot of change. We were going to be able to do this, really make a candidate worthwhile, be in the voting position for people to see him and to really defeat Donald Trump and all of that good stuff. So I told all the people that I knew, I said, you cannot be so numb to what's going on. They want us to be numb, and I've tried my very hardest to tell everyone who I talk to that the numbness is the sedation that they're putting you on, and you need to be able to feel passionate and feel angry because this is stuff that actually matters to us. And so we all got out and we posted up our stickers on Facebook. I voted in the Michigan primary. My friends voted in the Michigan primary, and we managed to really do something good for the state. And I felt like I was really helping. The Bernie disappointment, it didn't make any sense to me. It was completely illogical. I kept thinking, no, there's no way that he's suddenly decided this is okay. But ever since I saw all the people that I knew going green, I saw everyone posting about it, and I started watching the videos, and I started finding a candidate who believed in the revolution but knew that the party that was Bernie Sanders' standard was not going to be the party that was going to be able to get the change we needed.
And talk to me about Detroit, because I was interested in coming here. Obviously, in many ways, it's kind of a symbol of like the disappearing middle class Bernie talked about. Used to be kind of a hub for blue-collar workers, manufacturing. Then Reagan started with the union bashing and the offshoring of jobs. And now you see in many areas, not this one, it's a ghost town. Buildings shut down, boards on the wall, on the windows. How would a Jill Stein, in a hypothetical, if she was president, how does she kind of give a jolt to places like Detroit? Because right now, Detroit's got some billionaires, the Cavs owner, Mark Cuban, kind of infusing, but you need a little bit more than that.
I would say the biggest thing, if she were to hypothetically get elected, would be the symbolic position that she holds and the influence that she can have by actually getting people to understand what goes into the decisions that are made at every level of politics. And by doing that, we can make great changes in the infrastructure of the city. The jobs program would be amazing around here, and particularly the DTE energy is a big thing around here, what they were talking about.
Explain that. What's DTE Energy?
Detroit Edison. It was originally DTE Energy. It's the water, gas, electric company for Detroit and a lot of the surrounding areas. They were responsible for the water shutdowns, or I believe they're talking about in there again. Placing them with clean energy around here would put more people to work, would change a lot of the environment, things like that. The student loan debt would, there are a lot of people around here who can't even afford to do anything, can't afford to buy a new car or lease a car because they're so up to their neck in student loan debt. That would take care of that.
So you are standing up for us all because Detroit is a state of emergency in a nation which is in a state of emergency. They tell us that we are in a recovery, but we know better.
What particularly about the Green Party platform really captured your attention and really got you interested?
Okay, so after the fiasco that was Philadelphia, I went to apply for local office. They said that Green was the only one open at all. So I went and read the platform, and I said, actually, I support all of these things, the social justice issues, the ending the war on drugs, the health issues, health care for all, environmental issues. So I felt totally okay with signing on board based on that. And 99% of it doesn't apply to a Parks and Rec position. So that's hard to get people that are afraid of the national level because we're just in such a cycle of fear right now. It's hard for them to look past that, but that's exactly why I wanted to start small. So they know me. They can look past that and see me and see that I care, and that maybe that can expand that positive view of the Green Party.
Well, that's what democracy is about. It's about down ballot candidates like yourself and bringing these issues to the forefront. You are how old?
I am 16 years old, and right now her campaign manager for this campaign.
That's amazing. That's nepotism. You should really outsource that job.
But enough money for that.
I got you. But so you are 16 years old, probably getting involved in politics really soon.
Definitely, and a lot of that has come from TYT Network and Secular Talk and being very interested in our national news and national politics going on, so I felt that it would be really appropriate to help her out with her campaign to make changes at a local level, because that's mostly where you're going to see it in your town, is through running people that really care about their community.
So were you introduced to politics by Bernie Sanders and by that particular movement? Because I remember when Obama ran in 2008, I was 14, and that's what really got me excited about politics.
I think I was always interested in politics, starting from like 8th grade or so. I just, my family, my mom, my grandparents really got me involved with caring about what was going on in our world, but I think it was definitely Bernie Sanders that really solidified in my mind that these sort of things matter. Having a candidate that really cares about what he's saying and isn't just going up there on stage repeating rehearsed lines and really just talking about issues that affect all of us Americans, like that's something that really needs to be talked about, and it's really what got me involved in politics.
Yeah, well, you say issues that affect all Americans. You're a young kid. I'm assuming you're planning on going to college. Yeah, so the big Jill Stein platform is where she says she's going to forgive all the student loan debt. That's probably her most popular position I would garner from talking to other Green Party people like yourself. What do you think of that position, and is that what attracted you to Jill Stein in the first place?
I was not even aware of that position until I got further invested. I recently graduated medical school, so that would mean the world to me. As a person, as a human, that's the biggest thing in my life right now that I have to deal with, you know, like there are major issues that need to be solved all over the world, but the one that affects me personally is my $500,000 that I will probably never be able to pay back.
It's indentured servitude, and essentially you're still worrying about your debt, and you have a son who needs to go to college.
It's a punishment. We go to school to make our lives better. We go to school to make our communities better. We go to school to learn and to be invested in our world, and we come out with that. And we come out with lack of opportunities, lack of choices. You know, I wanted to go into family medicine and work in underserved communities. That was my goal. And now I come out and I go, those are the numbers. How do I do this? How can I do this? And that's a huge problem with healthcare too, because everybody's funneling into the specialties because they see the same numbers there too, and they go, I would love to do this good work, but the other work is what will actually pay my bills off, and that is sad.
Yeah, it disincentivizes people who would normally get involved. Last question. I know that you are going to be of age to vote soon. I'm sure that you see the future two prospects probably who are going to be president, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, as kind of a terrifying idea. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but when you are looking at your future prospects, do you see any hope for either of those two parties to change and to actually represent you in the future?
I think in this election, it's really provided a lot of opportunities for both the establishment parties and the non-establishment parties to make changes and attract different people. I think for Bernie Sanders, he both detracted and attracted more people to the Democratic Party with his rhetoric on just stopping the corruption, getting it out of politics. But I think that at the same time, Donald Trump has brought in a lot of support for the Republican Party that wasn't there before. I don't necessarily understand when people talk about the Republican Party dividing, because it really just seems like the top of the Republican Party doesn't like Donald Trump and the rest of the Republican Party does. I think that we're going to see change from both of the parties, but I don't know if it's enough to really change the face of America. And so that's really the reason that I'm here with the Green Party right now, because I see a lot of hope that comes from Jill Stein and people that really care about us, and not just people who are running to become president, but are running to change the country and change the world.
So the good news that you are creating in Detroit is the good news that we must bring to America, because in fact this is a democracy. We are not limited to just two deadly choices.
Looks like it's either going to be Clinton or Trump. I know viewers don't like when I say that, but I got to keep it real. You see anything changing for the better for Detroit or the country?
Under a Clinton or Trump, I'm not sure. I would assume it's going to be pretty much the same. I would hope that something would happen about the environmental issues that I keep seeing pop up, because that's something we really can't fix unless we start fixing it. But I think the important thing to remember for any viewers who do feel uncomfortable about that is that it's very, very important to remember Jill Stein is not the only person. The entire Green Party has similar viewpoints and wants to put your representatives into your state so that you can make sure you have the people that you want to be able to talk to vote for what you want in the future.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.